over 41 sessions. So, yes, we're approaching our 1 year anniversary. We have experienced 74 guest speakers. We started with 89 past members when I joined, and we are currently up to 1,800 members on LinkedIn and counting. So, if you haven't done so already, please go into your list of contacts and send an invite to them. You can do so from the Accountability and Hopeful Fridays page. You'll see a list of your connections over to the right, and it's pretty easy to invite them. So if you would go over there and maybe send the invite to 10 people that you think would be interested, we would appreciate you sharing the good news with friends. Okay, and now without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce you to Cheyenne Robinson. Cheyenne Robinson is a team lead crisis support counselor and alter behavioral health, emotional support, and resource connection. In her role, she provides leadership to a dedicated team of crisis support specialists and alter care line, focusing on delivering immediate intervention and support to individuals facing mental health challenges. She emphasizes the importance of effective crisis intervention techniques and safety planning, ensuring that all of their clients receive the best possible care. So, Cheyenne, I am really excited to introduce you to our team, and we always like to kick it off by asking that you please share one piece of insider knowledge that many job seekers might not be aware of, but would find incredibly helpful in their job search, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cheyenne Robinson. I'm from LA. And before I was a crisis support counselor, I was actually a coroner investigator. I worked for the Santa Cruz Sheriff Coroner's Department. So my background is in anthropology and forensic science. The coroner investigator job prepared me for the deaf world and helping families transition through death, which is what we don't normally talk about every day with our families and friends. And so I've seen trauma and crisis in different rhythms and different spaces. I've dealt with suicides, homicides, fetal deaths, and natural deaths as well. So I've seen everything you can possibly see at a crime scene. And so when I came into this role, this started, I would say, February of this year. I was a crisis support counselor, and I became a lead about 1 month ago. So I'm training 5 new people in the process. And I would say the coroner job prepared me for this position. So the coroner job was, I would say, post-death. And so the position is pre-death. What I mean by that is the individuals are still alive for the most part, but they've lost something in the moment and it's tangible, their home. And so we're basically just peer support counselors helping the victims of the LA wildfires. And we opened up our peer support counseling services, which are 6 free sessions. It can be one-on-one sessions for about 30 minutes or so. We also offer in-person and virtual support groups. And we're all open to all of LA County. In terms of the tip, I know applying to jobs can be frustrating and overwhelming. And just hitting back on some of your guys' points that you made earlier, you have to be responsive. And I mean, in terms of communicating with the recruiter, you being responsive means that you have a passion for what they're doing and you want to be communicative all the time. I would say for me, what I've learned is you have to be patient with yourself in the process. And sometimes the rejection hurts, but that wasn't the job for you. And there are so many other jobs out there that are better fit for your skill set. And that's a daily reminder for yourself. I would also add, apply to a job that stretch beyond your comfort zone. Since you never know where you're going to be ending up at, and sometimes the job that you had before leads to a better job that you never thought you would be at the fit for. And I would say also what I did, I would apply to at least 30 to 50 jobs a week. The more jobs you apply for in that span of a week, the better chances that you have in terms of response from recruiters and from jobs. You want to put yourself out there as much as possible, because I guarantee you're going to have people reach out to you and say, now what best qualifies you for this job? I would also, whatever those abilities are in the job posting, pull those to add them to your resume and curtail what you've already learned to what you can learn from the next job. I would say also have a plan B in terms of keeping income coming through. And hopefully that job that brings you income is a job that sets up the skill sets for your next job. I would also say keep your resume always updated and keep the bullet points concise and clear. And sometimes referencing a statistic about your current job is beneficial when you're applying, because people like looking at numbers. Numbers equal money, numbers equal growth, increase. In terms of mental health, I know you guys probably saw me drinking water. I drink a liter a day. That's a goal. I know that sometimes that's like, well, I'm going to the bathroom all the time. Well, great, because guess what? You're drinking water is flushing out those toxins. Because if you're sitting all day, you don't want to be just stagnant. And I would also say closing your eyes for about maybe 5 to 30 seconds a day, because we're constantly looking at the screen or our cell phones, right? And so keeping that, just, I guess, disconnect and shutting down your brain for that little moment makes a difference in resetting yourself. I would also say daily walks, if you can do 10, 15 minutes of a walk, because it's not just, it's about your heart, and it's good for your leg and blood flow. You don't want to have blood clots. I would also say, in terms of, what else did I say? When you're negotiating a salary, you should know your worth, because you've built up whatever, you've had 5 jobs up into this job, whatever that number may be. Every job that you've done up until this point, you've built yourself up. And every time you learn a new skill set and a new advantage. So your value is going up in value. And so start at the highest number and then come down to like a medial, like, a little bit of a more feasible number, but it still has a high value, because you know your worth and you deserve the skill set to add to what you're currently doing. Don't ever make yourself smaller than what it should be, because you've built yourself up into this point. What else? I think that's all the points I can possibly think right now in terms of the job market. But reminders every day, it's about what else can I do beyond my current position, and how do I make myself grow? Because the job market is, if you have this price point of a particular your salary, the next job should be higher than what you currently have. Don't go backwards. You want to go further up. But that's all I have to share. If there's any questions, I'm definitely here. So thank you.
It was amazing. Thank you so much. So you spoke a lot about personal experience. Was your transition recent?
Yeah, so I was a coroner for 2 months and 2 years and 5 months, and I left that job January 1st of this year. It was a very toxic work environment for me, but I learned so much about myself, and I learned that I'm a great liaison, and that's what brought this job upon myself. I actually found this job at 3 a.m. I just was I just kept searching and kept searching. I guess I'm more of a hustle person, like just grinding and just putting myself out there. But it pushed me out of my comfort zone being a coroner, because you see so much and you do it. You have so many different hats. You're a counselor, you're a psychologist, you're a medical person. You have to negotiate. You have to convince people to do certain things. You have to set boundaries with officers, deputies, DOJ, screen off, DNA analysis, getting buccal swabs, collecting evidence, contain the evidence, chain of custody. So there's so many different elements that are in the coroner job, and you have to also notify family. That's a part of our position. You have to find them, notify them, and then help them through the next steps.
I'm just speechless. That's incredible. Thank you so much for taking